And here we are coming to you live from the top secret. I mean, top secret. I don't want the government to know where we are today because what we're doing is potentially dangerous to the kingdom of the Antichrist. This is Pastor Mike, and I'm online, and I am live, and I was looking at the Drudge Report a while ago. Normally, I'm looking for headlines. I'm looking for explosive things that are happening all over the world. And I refresh the browser, or it refreshes itself, and up at the top, and I almost never look at these, up at the top of Drudge Report, they have this little floating ad up there. And so, in case you don't think that the government is really spying on you, or that your internet stuff isn't known, I've got an article I am going to show you today. But in case you think it's not applied to you, I pulled up Drudge Report, and up at the top, the floating ad up on the top was from TigerDirect.com. Now, if you don't know what that is, they specialize in selling computer hardware, software, gizmos, and gadgets is what they sell. I've been buying from them for quite a while now. When I buy a computer, I usually buy the parts and build it myself. It's just something I've learned how to do. It saves you a lot of money. But here's the thing. On the Tiger Direct ad up at Drudge Report, yours will be different. Because what it had up there, they had pictures and sales. And the sales that they were offering they had about 6 different pictures up there. The sales they were offering were everything that I have recently bought from TigerDirect.com. They had Blu-ray disc, a Blu-ray player. I just bought one of those, one of these portable Blu-ray things. That's what we're recording the Sunday services on now. And Blu-ray disc, a Blu-ray player. There was a Wi-Fi extender for sale, and I don't know, a couple other things. Those are things that I had just bought within the last 4 months from TigerDirect.com. Now, it's a little bit troubling, but it's also a little bit funny, because they were advertising to me personally at my IP address. They were advertising to me specifically, trying to sell me things I've already bought. So I know we should be alarmed at what the New World Order is capable of doing, but to be honest with you, I don't think they're all that bright yet. Now, having said that, it's kind of like when the prison program exploded. By the way, the news on Drudge Report today is about this Snowden fellow. He finally gets asylum in Russia. The people who pretend that they're on our side. But remember, here just a few weeks ago, of the 3 major superpowers in the world, Russia, China, and the United States, 2 of them have joint military exercises, and they don't invite the United States of America. So I'm a little alarmed at that. Now we have one of the guys in the government, in the know, that decided to come clean on the prison program. And if you remember, I showed you pieces of that PowerPoint that they made. And I'm going, this was like the worst PowerPoint ever made in the entire world. And if whoever's running the prison program is the guy that makes PowerPoints, we don't have anything to be afraid of, because this guy's not very smart. But Snowden blows the lid off this thing. Now there was an article. Let's see if it's still there. Let's see if you can still get to it. There was an article on Drudge Report, and I've got it pulled up, and I've actually bookmarked this particular page. This is from The Guardian, UK. There's another program that the NSA is running called X Key Score. Now, that's interesting to me because of the X and the key and so on. I think they're linked together. I think they have everything to do with Revelation 9. You've heard me talk about that. But the headline says it's the NSA tool that collects nearly everything a user does on the internet. Now, they actually have a link to this. If you go to theguardian.com and just do a search for their X-Key Score article, they have a link to it's a 2008 presentation, 5 years ago. We're just now learning about the technology that they had 5 years ago. You and I both know what happens in 5 years as far as technology is concerned. But in 2008, the NSA, according to this PowerPoint, I'm looking at the PowerPoint right now, and according to this PowerPoint, the NSA at will can do a search for you, what you talk about, what your emails say, your browsing history. Some of you should be kind of scared about that. Your browsing history, the chats that you've been involved in, the websites that you went to, and they keep a record. If there is a phone number on a website that you went to, they store that, and that's all linked to your name and to your IP address. Everything. And if they want to search it, they can search it. Now, here's what kind of got me, and I expect that in the next few months you're going to see a lot of companies come out with privacy protection software, and I hope they do. You say, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, you shouldn't have to be afraid of. I'm not afraid. What I don't like is an ever-increasing power over me and my family that has to know remember, knowledge is power. They have to know everything they can get their hands on about you. And it has to, and you all know that if you are going to have a power in a nation that is an all-inclusive totalitarian power, the thing that you have to do is you have to easily quell the dissent. You have to take people that are running their mouth and you have to get them to shut up one way or the other. You intimidate them, you pay them off, you bump them off, they have an accident or whatever, but that's what happens. And now we have a government system that at will they can know anything that there is to know about you, because we are a technology-based society. Our cell phones are trackers. Our iPads are trackers. Our laptops are trackers. Our computers are trackers. Everything that we're doing now is done electronically, and this program, the X-Key Score program, has the ability to look into literally everything that you're doing. Now, I had mentioned a few weeks ago that, and I recommend this, and I still do, using what's called a VPN, a virtual private network, and there's several companies that offer that. And what that does is that creates an encrypted tunnel between your computer and the website that you're going to, and so that the website that you're going to, when it registers the IP address, it's not your IP address, it's an anonymous IP address. Well, I'm reading this PowerPoint here, and there is one section called Show Me All the Encrypted Documents from Iran. In other words, it's setting up a scenario. So let's say that you're in the NSA and you want to find all the encrypted Word documents from Iran. Show me all the PGP usage, which is pretty good privacy. In other words, you work for the NSA. You want to know who's using PGP in Iran. You want to know who's encrypting their data and transmitting it across the internet in Iran. Because the suspicion is, if you're from Iran and you're using encryption, it's obvious that you don't want me to find out what you're doing. So here's what it is. This program can perform this kind. I'm looking at their document here that can perform this kind of retrospective query, then simply pull content of interest from the site as required. And then the next slide says, Show me all the VPN startups, virtual private network companies, in country whatever, country X, and give me the data so I can decrypt and discover the users. So these events are easily browsable in the X keyscore. X keyscore extracts and stores authoring information for many major document types, can perform a retrospective survey to trace the document origin, since metadata is typically kept for up to 30 days. No other system performs this on raw, unselected bulk traffic, data volumes, and so on. This was 2008 technology. 5 years ago, they had the ability to, even if you were using encryption, even if you were using a virtual private network, no matter what you were doing, they had the ability 5 years ago to figure out what you were doing. It is insane. It is bizarre. Knowledge is power. This is, and I don't like to use this word loosely, but this is a new world order system. Let me read the verse to you that I have in mind here, Revelation chapter 13. And I'm going to encourage you to get your Bibles out today. We're going to do a couple things here. There's somebody that you're going to know the name as soon as I say it. He is saying something very, very stupid. And I have his exact quote. And I'm going to show you how far off this guy is. In Revelation chapter 13, you know this to be the teaching on the beast. And here's something about the beast that you need to understand. And it's being set up right now with all this knowledge is power, with all this watch over everybody. Do this. This would be a good study for you to do. In fact, I'm going to pull this up here using the King James Pure Bible Search software. And Donna tells me that there is a lot of exciting things coming out in version 2.0. I want you to notice that this beast in verse 2, and the beast which I saw was likened to a leopard. Now, there's an aspect of this that I've actually done a study on, and I'm going to present it sometime, probably on this, and I may do a video on it, about the idea of spots. Spots are indicative of sin. Leopards have spots. Can a leopard change its spots? And so it is like a leopard, or he is was likened to a leopard, and I think the spots of that are indicative of what this is. Whereas Christ is the unspotted lamb, the Antichrist is the spotted beast. And if you see the opposites there. But here is another aspect of this beast that has to do with the leopard. In Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 6, wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them. Now this beast is as a lion. His mouth is as the mouth of a lion. And a wolf of the evenings shall spoil them. And watch this. A leopard shall watch over their cities. Leopards observe. They watch. Hosea 13:7, therefore I will be unto them as a leopard, by the way will I observe them. So the watching capabilities, the observation of the, and you know what the leopard's doing, don't you? The leopard sits there and he's sunk down and he can't be seen or detected, and he's watching over the flock of gazelles that are down there in the veldt, in the field. And he's looking, he's watching them, he's learning their characteristics, he's learning what makes them jump, he's learning them, he's watching, and the reason why he's doing it is that so he can attack them. He's picking one of them out of the group by observing them. And when I see that the beast is likened to a leopard, this is one of the things that I get out of it, is the observation abilities of the New World Order system under the beast. And the Bible says the dragon gave him his power. And then it says, gave him his power and his seat and great authority.